We've got Dixie State redshirt sophomore quarterback Kody Wilstead joining us inside the CEC TV studios. Kody, thanks so much for joining us, and huge performance on Saturday. So we'll just jump right into it. Obviously, Keaton got the start, but as a quarterback, you're ready to play and ready to go anytime. You showed that you were ready with your very first throw of the game was just a dime right across the middle to Blake Kilgore, and then it was up and up from there. Just break down that game on Saturday and what it was like kind of being thrown into the action and then coming in and playing so well.
Well, first off, thanks for having me here. But this year it's been crazy. Coach P's kept me and Keaton both, ready every week. So he's been true to his word that we're going to do 2 quarterback systems. So going into the game, I kind of figured maybe second half, second quarter, just kind of what we've been doing all year. I was going to get in, but then Keaton started the second quarter, was doing great. I was cheering him on. No hard feelings. We're always rooting for each other on the sideline, asking each other what the other's seeing. But I see him go down, run off the sideline after his scramble, and went and grabbed my helmet, just ready to go in. Coach P called a handoff to kind of get my feet under me, let me get used to the flow again. And then second play, he calls that shot, and Blake was wide open over the middle.
Wide open over the middle was kind of the theme for most of that game. Was there something on film that you guys saw over the week before that leading up that said, hey, we can kind of pick these guys apart over the middle, especially bringing the tight ends? Was that part of the game plan going in? You knew that was going to be there?
Yeah, we kind of planned on them doing a lot of 2 high safety. We kind of figured they'd do more of a Tampa 2 where they dropped the linebacker a little bit, but they didn't. Either he wasn't getting very deep or they just weren't doing it. We weren't really sure what they were going to bring to us because every game they kind of switched up their scheme a little bit. But we figured they'd stick with the 2 high, and then that would just leave the middle wide open. So.
Let's talk about one of those passes. Obviously, you had 4 touchdown passes, but one in particular I think stood out for both Carrick and I. And if we can roll the tape on this as well, it's your second touchdown pass to Casey Allison. To set the scene, you step back in the pocket, you kind of have to step up, climb the pocket a little bit, and then scramble out to your left, throw the ball back across your body, and then, of course, find Allison there in the back of the end zone. Kind of just take us through that play a little bit. What was in your mind? What were you seeing? Was he your first read? How did that play develop? Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, so Casey, he had a post route, as everyone could tell. But he's a pre-snap read. If the safeties are a little lower, then, take a shot. But on that play in particular, my read was left to right with my shallow coming under. I had to step up in the pocket. I started scrambling to my left. My shallow was in front of me, and I could have thrown it, but I was kind of seeing kind of what the defense was doing there, flowing more that way. And so I looked up, and I saw Casey just one-on-one with this guy. I'm going to give my guy a chance if he's one-on-one. So.
And the ball was put absolutely on the money, and I think that was one of the more common themes as well, that you were just incredibly accurate all throughout that game. And it seemed like there was rarely a time when there was a ball that was maybe thrown inaccurately, especially in that second half as well. Let's talk about your offense kind of getting off to a better start. Obviously, in the past couple of games, at least at times, the defense has kind of been really what's held you guys into games, while your offense has kind of started to figure things out. Is there something that's clicked maybe for your offense? How was it to get out to a better start offensively and not have to rely on your defense to kind of keep you in games until your offense got rolling?
I think our confidence is building for sure. We're getting more comfortable with the plays, getting more comfortable with Coach Peterson and how he calls his plays. But honestly, I think it's just confidence. I think we're going out there, start of every drive, knowing we're going to go in and score instead of just, hey, let's go get a good drive out here. No, we're going to go put this ball in the end zone, or we're going to be able to get down there, kick a field goal. We're going to score points this drive. And so I think that confidence is what really helped us this week. So hopefully we can keep that going forward.
We're chatting with Dixie State redshirt sophomore quarterback Kody Wilstead. Had a phenomenal game, 18 of 23 for 336 yards, 4 passing touchdowns on Saturday, rushed for a touchdown as well. He did it all in that game. Kody, let's talk about kind of the first half of the season. Hard to believe that really, when you only play an 11-game season, is there a true halfway point? You never can say you're exactly halfway. You're either 5 games in or 6 games in, but you're 5 games in now and essentially at that halfway point. Hard to believe that. But the first thing when you look back through this first half of the season, and I think a lot of people naturally probably look, and you mentioned this a little bit, but they say, hey, there's that quarterback battle. You're fighting all through all through camp, all through the fall, and then you're still the 2-quarterback system. And I think a lot of people must think that must mean that you guys are just against each other in everything. But I'm in practice all the time. I see the games. You guys are high-fiving. You can tell really that you're fighting for the playing time, but pulling for each other. Good friends out there. Is that how you guys see it, and really just trying to help each other be the best you can be?
Yeah, for sure. Me and Keaton, I mean, we hang out outside of football. We joke around. Even Tanner, we hang out with Tanner too. And so the top 3, 1, 2, and 3 quarterbacks, we're all hanging out together. We're all joking around. We're playing Xbox together. We have a good time. And so, yeah, when he's out there, I'm cheering for him. When I'm out there, he's cheering for me. We make a mistake, we come off to the sideline. That's the first, either him or I, we're the first person to go meet with them, and be like, hey, no, you got this. This is what happened. Let's be better next time. Let's not give coach a reason to put the other person in, if that makes sense. It's because it's we don't want it to be, hey, I want you to do bad so I can go in. It's more I want you to do well, and so I can go in when we're up 30 points. And so it's more that kind of attitude instead of, no, I want you to suck.
Well, it seems like that attitude is there throughout the whole team. I mean, obviously, this is a team that anytime you have a new coaching staff come on, there's going to be some personnel changes. And you have the tragedy, with Abraham in the spring. You have just different things that this team has been through the ringer over the last year. And it feels like, in some degree, it's helped you guys kind of come together and pull together and gel as a team. It seems like you guys are all getting along well. And obviously there's going to be the chippiness between offense and defense, especially in camp. But just talk about how you guys have gelled as a team, a full team, and really working toward that goal of an RMAC championship and wanting to make the playoffs this last year at D2.
Yeah. So if I'm being honest, the start of camp was rough. We had a lot of new guys coming in, but us returners from the spring, we went through that Abe incident, tragedy. We all went through it together. So we grew together with that, especially with his family coming and talking to us. We realized that this is a family, that this isn't just a football team. It's not just people that play together. We are a family. And so when fall camp first started, we had the new guys all coming in. We butted heads quite a bit, but I think the new guys have done a really good job at buying into the culture, the system, and recognizing that we are a family here. And so you're right, the chemistry between our team it's phenomenal.
And part of that adversity, at the end of that adversity, you obviously start to gel as a team, which is what you've been doing over this 4-game win streak. Just talk a little bit about how you guys have kind of been able to gel both on the field and off the field. I mean, obviously we've seen your offense this last week really come alive. Just talk about how you've been able to gel both your teammates on and off the field.
Off the field, we have Devin Osborne. He's our representative for the SAC. He's been trying to push us to get out, do community service, do anything we can to kind of get out, be together out and about, not just in our little groups and our little cliques that we have, but everyone get out there, go enjoy the community, let them see us together having fun, doing good. And then on the field, we're just pushing each other all the time. Offense, defense, we're not fighting, but we're battling every day at practice, trying to make the other better. And during a game, we both know that the other team's they're gonna have our back. The offense, we don't go down and score. We know the defense is gonna get us the ball back. The defense lets us score. They trust the offense. They trust us to go out and put the points back on the board. So
it's obviously tough. Going back to the first 4 games of the season, 3 of those were on the road. You had 3 consecutive road games. It's always tough to go out and play, and not only that, beat an opponent on the road. How tough is it to go out on the road for 3 straight games, win all 3, and then all of a sudden now you're 1 week later, it's 5 of the next 7 games at home? What mindset has to change for you to play a game on the road versus playing games at home? I mean, obviously it's easier, you're in your own bed, that kind of thing. What's the mindset, and how relieved were you guys to kind of get back at home and play the majority of your rest games at home?
Me personally, I'm really happy, but it is, I think it's honestly more challenging sometimes to play at home. You sleep in your own bed at night, but it's you're not as dialed in, if that makes sense. On the road, you have a roommate that's a teammate. You have the coaches, you're always doing something with the team, football related. When we're at home, there's so much downtime. You're able to sleep in your own bed. You can't have anyone watching what time you're going to bed. And so I think that's probably the biggest thing, is just staying focused on what's really happening. That we have a game the next day. We have a game later on today. It's staying focused throughout the whole thing, since it's not, we're just there for like a business trip.
He is redshirt sophomore quarterback Kody Wilstead, and he is live with us on Trailblazer Weekly. Cody, you have kind of another theme of coming home, not only the football team itself, but you started your football career, just up the road at BYU, and a year where a lot of us down here were going, come on, play him, let him get in there. Like, where you should have some playing time here, especially with the way the quarterback situation was. That year, and then you go and play a year at junior college, and now you're back here at Dixie State. Take us through that journey, coming back to Dixie State, back to St. George, that decision to come back and play in your hometown. What was ultimately, the thing that pushed you over the edge, wanting to come back and play here in your hometown?
Oh, jeez.
Maybe we don't have enough time to go.
Nice, for real. No, it's been a journey for sure. Just started out, got home from my mission, left, and went right up to BYU. And like you said, kind of had a weird year. They were going to pull my red shirt. I was going to get in. They decided not to. Lots of things happened. Then I was going to go into spring ball, taking the 1 reps. And then Detmer gets fired. I end up taking like the 5 reps the first day. And so they brought in Zach. And, it was just weird, honestly. Like I can't really say anything other than just weird for the whole situation. Then I went out to Coffeyville, Kansas, spent 1 season out there, kind of rehabbed, honestly. I hurt my shoulder right before I left BYU, was rehabbing out there, played towards the end, didn't really have much film. So when I heard that Coach Peterson got the job here, gave him a call immediately. I was like, hey, Coach, like, I want to play at Dixie. Like, I know that you're going to be the coach there now, like, congratulations, but like, I want to come be your guy. And he called me back. He was like, actually, he couldn't call me. Once he got here, I came in, I talked with him, and he was like, look, I have a spot for you. Said, you can come, you can work out, but he's like, you're going to have to earn it. Like, I'm not just giving it to you. And so I came out, I performed in spring, did as much as I could do. And yeah, now I'm playing back in St. George, which is crazy to me. I never really thought that would happen, but I'm excited. It's been fun.
Well, there's a lot of football memories here. Obviously, you lit it up just down the road at Pineview High School, both on the, really every sport you played, and it's been fun. That's kind of been the theme, the hometown heroes coming back to play here at Dixie State. It's been fun to see you make that transition. What are some of the biggest lessons you feel like you learned through that journey? Because it certainly was a journey. It was an adventure. It probably felt like a roller coaster at times. What are some of the biggest lessons that you learned throughout that journey?
Probably the biggest thing is just about family. Whether it's my personal family, whether it's the team as a family, like not all the times were great, not all the times were fun, and so being able to lean on everyone really and learn that a team really is a family, and that you can just always count on people. Everyone has good interests in their heart, and especially on teams. And so that's probably the biggest thing for me, is that there's just so many people you can count on.
Chatting live with redshirt sophomore quarterback Kody Wilstead here on Trailblazer Weekly as we wind down. Just a couple minutes left. One thing we always like to ask different student athletes is about your favorite memory in the sport that you play. Think back. I know you've had a lot of different experiences. You were obviously came out of Pineview High School, had a tremendous career there. Obviously the successes you've had so far this season at Dixie State. Maybe go back. Is there a memory that sticks out to you as maybe your favorite football memory? Can you share that with us? And we'd be glad to hear it.
Does my attempted hurdle last week count?
Hey, you got over him, right?
Kind of. No, so probably my favorite memory was my junior year. We're playing in the semifinals against Juan Diego. We were down. It actually started off.
Was that one of the Snow Bowl games? Was it snowing?
No, it was the early morning. It was really nice. We started off slow, ended up doing well towards the end. We were down 1 point with like 3 minutes to go. I fumble. We get the ball back. I fumble. They get the ball, and I'm sitting there. I have no idea what's going on. Like, I'm just so upset with myself. And Coach Hosner comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna get you the ball back. We're gonna let them score." I was like, okay, whatever, coach. Like, I just lost this. I lost this the game. Great. And he was like, no, like, we're getting you the ball back. I said, okay. So they let him score. We get the ball back with 1:30. We're down 8 points. We're driving. We get down. We're on, I think, the 48-yard line going in, and 14 seconds left. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, I'm gonna have to do something here. I'm gonna scramble around. Hopefully someone breaks free. I didn't know. And Tristan Duran runs a seam route right up the middle. I throw it to him, and he catches it. As soon as he catches it, 4 different Juan Diego defenders hit him, and all from different directions. That actually kept him up. And so he's running, and then the corner comes, and he hurdles the corner right into the end zone. So we score. There's 1 second left on the clock. Now we have to go for 2, and I'm like, all right, sweet. Like, we got this. We got momentum now. Get the snap. We have a pass play called. My right guard or someone lets a guy go right by. So I'm like, freak. So I'm just running around. I'm running in circles. Literally, I ran in a circle, and I'm just like, hey, anyone, just stick your hand up. And Jack Banger in the back of the end zone sticks his hand up, and I throw it to him. He catches it right over a guy, and 2-point conversion. We send it into overtime. We ended up scoring on our first drive. They didn't, and we won the game. It was crazy.
That was probably one of the most incredible responses we've ever had to that answer. I'm serious. The detail, the level of that story, just incredible. Fun times. And Kody, we appreciate you joining us on the show. We are almost out of time, but I got to ask you, do you guys razz Coach Peterson a lot about, because he played above Matt Ryan in college, and Matt Ryan's playing in the league still, and we love having Coach Peterson here, but do you guys razz him about that ever? Probably not. He's your head coach, your position coach.
We razz him about everything, not just that. Our quarterback room is a lot of fun. We like to mess around with each other a lot. So.
One other thing we got to ask you before you leave.
All right.
Keaton had a pretty good hurdle in that game as well.
Yes.
Did you guys have a little debate about whose was better after the game?
No, I think his was better, if I'm being honest. I mean, he cleared it.
Does it count when you hurdle your own teammate, though?
I don't know.
Does it count as a real hurdle? Because that was it Rob? Was it Malcolm? So it was somebody, he had to hurdle his own guy.
See, his guys were on the ground, so I don't know. My guy was at least standing up, but...
Fair enough.
He is redshirt sophomore quarterback Kody Wilstead. Kody, we appreciate you taking your time and laughing with us and sharing this interview with you. We'd love to get to know you a little bit better. Wish you all the best this Saturday and throughout the rest of the season.
Thank you.